if you can't trade up for Cameron Carr, is there another prospect if you're Detroit that would intrigue you?
Yeah, I think Cameron Carr is kind of like my number one trade up option personally for me. And I know a lot of people have been Pete, to start the year, especially with, the first game he had against Florida, dropping 30 points, just bulldozing, 2 All-Americans to the rim and Alex Condon, Ryan Thomas Houck. Like he was definitely, a lottery lock at that point of the season, but he definitely, in all the videos that are coming out of his shooting mechanics, like it's kind of like, what are people doing with his shots? Like we don't want like another Johnny Davis on our hands, right? Like with people messing with prospect shots so early on. So at the time, like preseason, if you were to ask me, I'm like, okay, Pete is definitely a guy I would consider trading up for. But I know Yaxel is obviously the main focus for a lot of Pistons fans. I personally love Merez Johnson a little bit more than Yaxel. And Yaxel, like he's 6'9", 225 pounds, can dribble, pass, shoot. He was kind of a late bloomer too, right? He wasn't really highly recruited out of high school. Went to JUCO, then obviously had his All-American season at UAB, averaged a double-double, and, went to Michigan and won a national championship and showcased that he is, kind of like Bennett Sturt's kind of trajectory. Like it doesn't matter the level, like he's going to produce and put up numbers and stuff, the stat sheet. And with Yaxel too, like he kind of was in a shooting slump for kind of like the middle half of the year, right? He just could not hit an outside shot to save his life, but, he kind of prevailed in doing so and, kept attacking the rim, doing what he does, overpowering in the mid-range, making, great defensive plays for his teammates, creating extra possession, and also his playmaking vision. Like you're getting a guy at 6'9" that is one of the best two-way bets in this draft, right? And I think if you're looking at other teams that are ahead of the Pistons, right? You have the Oklahoma City Thunder, you have the Miami Heat, the Warriors, I think could take a shot at him, and also the Milwaukee Bucks. But the Milwaukee Bucks are kind of interesting because I really don't know what way they're going. I think a lot obviously rides on Giannis, but they're definitely a team that I could see, wanting to take Yaxel off the board. So, but I think Michigan could very likely have 3 other guys in the lottery pretty easily with, Ade Mara, Yaxel Lendenborg, and Merez Johnson. But Merez Johnson, you can go both ways with him and Yaxel to trade up for, but I personally would go Merez Johnson Jr. just because I'm really more confident in his ability to affect the game at the next level. He's a winning player. He's improved year after year. And I think he just fits a lot better in a lot of different teams types. And I think with Yaxel, he might have a little bit of not a learning curve, but I think there's obviously some talks about, maturity issues and whatever the case may be. Like he had all those TikToks going around, right? But he's also a 23-year-old college kid. Like that stuff happens. But I don't know. I think Merez, like he's just showcased a lot more for me that I didn't expect from his first year at Illinois to now. So those 2 players I would definitely consider trading up for, but I also think you can get such great ROI for the Pistons at 21.
Yeah, same here. Like I'm probably either a Yaxel guy or a Steinbach guy. I could totally see him like going like top 15. Like the more I watch him, I see like a lot of like young. Before you guys just like troll the comments, I say younger Lauri Markkanen, before he just turned into like this like sniper from 3. I see a lot of the same fluidity. I cannot talk either today when I watch him, but I've just fallen in love with him and his ability just to grab rebounds and protect the rim. But I wouldn't be mad. Like obviously Cameron Carr would be like my number 1 option if that happens, but I think this draft will be very, very entertaining. Probably the first draft that I'll actually like be locked in. Like last year's draft, like outside of like the top 5, I actually like, turned it off. I was like, I don't really care. I'm good.
Yeah, I think a lot more people just all over are so locked in to this draft because it's one of the best draft classes we've ever had. Like, it's generational and you can get, a star in the making, especially at, mid to late first round. Like, it is that loaded. And I think with some of the players that opted out at the early entrant deadline, you're just getting a lot more, value in these players, that you could have got in the second round too. So yeah, it'll be definitely interesting. I think we're kind of in the same wavelength of some players that are worth trading up for, some players aren't worth trading up for. But it's a good thing for the Pistons that you have so many options to choose from. And not one is like, oh God, like a horrible option when you look at, the big boards out there.
Yeah, I think whoever they come away with, whether they stay at 21, whether they possibly trade up, maybe they trade the pick and like we're getting a Michael Porter Jr., for example.
Yeah.
Like you never really know, but I think it definitely will be a very fun draft.